Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, welcome to the All In podcast with Cassandra Hsiao and
Grace.
who are you?
I'm mom of Cassandra.
Yes, and she is an amazing woman, and this is why we decided to start this podcast, is because I think a lot of people can learn from the wisdom that you have accumulated over the years as a woman, as a mother, about our journey together as mother-daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty
with
incredible.
God's grace.
Yeah, with
Yes.
God's grace.
Yeah.
So yeah, this podcast is called All In, and the reason why I chose this name is, it's play on words, right? I did get into all 8 Ivy League universities with God's grace, but it also means a way of living. So this way of diving all in, giving it your 100%. And that's exactly what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Our topic is excellency. Something that my friends told me after I graduated high school is that they learned this idea of excellency from me, that I wasn't striving to be perfect, but I was striving to be excellent.
Yeah.
So to you, what does it mean to be excellent?
I think for me, excellency means that you be the person that the best you can be and do the best you can do. You do extra mile as far as you can, and also as the best as you can running your own race.
So how does that differ from being perfect?
Perfect, I think from the biblical points of views, the excellency means that is your attitude. But for the perfect, if you compare to the perfect, means that you have to do everything perfect and you are like comparing to other people. So biblical excellency has nothing to do to the comparison with others, but it has everything to do with your attitude. Yeah.
And how did you raise me to be excellent?
So I think like normally in the school wise, so if the teacher say if you do something, the teacher will give you extra credit, then I will ask you to go for it even though you don't need it. So why did you want to do it? Is because you challenge yourself out of your comfort zone. So you do extra miles, you do more things, more challenging to challenge yourself to be a better reader, a better writer, or better students. Yeah.
So we also talk about turning in high quality work and turning it in on time / early. I think that was such a key thing for me to learn too, especially in journalism, because first I have to submit my school work on time, right? So that I could go off and do all of these events and interview people without falling behind in my schoolwork. And then, of course, within the world of journalism, I had to turn things in on time because there's a deadline for everything. So I try to turn things in early, as they say in some industries. On time is early. I think another point of excellence is a constant self-improvement, because when you are reaching for perfection, let's say you turn something in, then in your brain, you turned it in because it's perfect. And when it's perfect, in your brain, there's no room for improvement. But when you do your best, you know that your best can get even better next time. So excellency, can you talk a little bit more about the improvement aspect?
It's like you setting a high standard for yourself. If you set a high goal, so make yourself motivated to achieve the goal. And then when you work harder, and then you actually also come out of your comfort zone. So, in life, excellency is a life process. So we have to be like constantly coming out of comfort zone to set another goal. Every time you hit the goal, and then you set another goal, and then you make a commitment to be excellent in everything that you do. That's how we go on with our life. So excellency is not something, it's not a skill, but it's an attitude, as I have mentioned, that you have to constantly doing it throughout your journey of your life.
Going back to the extra credit part, you just told me recently about how I got into journalism. So I applied to be a Scholastic Kid reporter, and as part of the application, you are supposed to interview someone from your community. So how does this idea of excellency feed into that, and what was the response to the video?
During that time, you were only 6th grade, and you show interest in the reporting, you show interest in writing. So we came across this competition. So I just asked you to apply, and then we were thinking about we will brainstorm about what kind of people you can interview, and then we think of a interview mayor. We just wrote an email and to the council, the email of the mayor, and then we didn't expect anything in return, but they reply it and say that you can come at certain time, certain place and interview the mayor. and they were so exciting because it's a new thing for us, and to interview someone, but you were also very excited. So you came up with your own questions, and then you went with your friends. That is a very good experience, and then that's how you develop your journalism journey. Yeah.
So the video was not required, but we sent it in anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
And what was the response to the video?
So the response when we sent to the Scholastic Kids Reporter, and I remember the editor of Scholastic Kids Reporters saying this in the email, saying that when they received at that time still using the CD. Yeah, right. We recorded in the CD, and then when she opened up the envelope and saw a CD, and then she said, "Wow," and then she asked everyone in the office to come and watch the CD together. So they were so impressed that because out of so many applications, but you were the only one who made the video. So they were impressed by the work of yours, your interview, your conduct skills. So that's what they wrote it in the email, and they were very impressed by the courage that you took to like interview a mayor of your city.
Yeah. So excellency in that case, going the extra mile, got me the job.
Yeah, that's right. And that time was like, we do not have experience, no, not even a person in this line. So whatever we did is all like just a new thing to us. So we have to like try and make error. We make a lot of mistake along the way too. But excellency doesn't mean that you don't make mistake.
Yeah.
When you strive for excellence, you make lots of mistakes.
It's all part of it.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Perfectionism, on the other hand, doesn't allow you to make mistakes.
That's
or if you do make mistakes, you beat yourself up, and then that prevents further growth. But excellency almost encourages making mistakes and constantly learning from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that, generally speaking, I pursue excellence, or do you think that I pursue perfection?
While pursuing excellency, sometimes we confuse with the perfection. So I think you have a moment where you actually pursuing perfection, which will bring a lot of stress to yourself, and also you become something like a people pleasing. You like to please other people. You like to have validation from other people. You're seeking validation and recognition from people, and then that will cause yourself into a territory which is you feel insecure.
I think I do still suffer from perfectionism in certain ways, and I think you identified an interesting element, which is perfectionism is very people oriented. Like, who are you trying to be perfect for? It's always to an exterior standard, whereas excellency, it's like you're running your own race, you're just doing your best. There's nothing to compare it except to yourself. But I think you're right. I think my weakness is that, sometimes at the end of the day, I just really want to be liked or be seen.
Yeah. Especially right now, like social media, everyone wants, to have validation from all the followers, So it's very easy to fall into the trap of perfect.
Yeah. When I think about my own perfectionism, it's all because I want to be perfect in the eyes of somebody else. So that's how I kind of distinguish between the two.
Yeah.
I guess it's a difference for me. So in this case, like, how can we then grow out of perfectionism?
While you are setting goal, you keep growing, keep working hard to achieve whatever your goal is, and challenge yourself, and never give up. That is very important attitude in the face of challenges. And the most important thing is you are not pleasing people, but you are doing this to give glory to our God. Whatever you do, you give glory to God. You do the best that you can, and you pray to God and tell God this is the best that you do, and you give everything glory to God, and then you will prevent yourself from going into Perfectionism. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's possible to encourage your kids to be excellent without turning into a tiger mom?
I think you should use the word of praise. I remember last time when you and your brother, when you were young, I always put the sign up in the places that you can see, so that when you see the word of excellence, you can declare like, I am excellent. I'm excellent in my work. I'm excellent in school. I'm an excellent student. You know, it's a decorations of God's words in your life, and then to encourage you to have the attitude to do whatever with excellent attitude.
We need all these reminders, and it's true, like throughout our house there's Bible verses on the walls.
Yes.
I remember, and this is something we still do too, but you had a printed out sheet of things to declare.
Yeah.
And we would be sitting here. So I forgot to mention for our podcast listeners, we're filming this from my bed, my childhood bedroom. And the reason why we chose to film this podcast from my bed is because I wanted it to mimic a lot of the conversations that we have at night, where I'd just be lying down and you'd be sitting right here, and we would have these long conversations till like 1 a.m. about life. And so, during those nighttime conversations, you have this printout of things to declare. I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath,
the Bible verses.
Not the borrow. Bible verses, but laying claim to those promises by speaking it out, because our tongue has the power of life and death.
Yes, so, that's right.
Even if I didn't believe it, I was in this habit of saying these things every single day, that eventually it'll take root.
Yeah, of course. Faith is something that you don't see, but you still believe in your heart. That's right. So we have to you haven't achieved something, but you with declaration, then you develop the faith. That's why God answered the prayer with your faith. So it's very important that you declare whatever things that you want to happen in your life, using God's words every morning. So how do you live fullest of your life? Is by being excellent, by declaring God's word in your life, by doing, and then after that you do the words with excellency. It's even small little things like, for me, cleaning house, preparing meals, or playing games with the pickleballs. I have to strive for the excellence as well. So if I'm going to a new area, like recently I pick up pickleballs, so I'm not really good, but I strive for excellency, so I practice in my backyard every day, so I can be a better person. Because when you go to the court, you will be threatened, intimidated by the opponents, right? So before you even go to the field, so I would like to have some basic skills and challenge myself to be a better player. So I make a promise of myself that I will, like, every morning practice how many hours of my pickleball games. Like I watch the YouTubes and learn a lot of skills from the YouTubers. That's how I improve myself.
That's pretty incredible. And I think that is another sort of bonus of being excellent, is that you're not afraid to try new things. Right? Because if you were operating from a mode of perfectionism, you'll be like, oh, I'm not going to try that because I'm not going to be perfect at it. But because you are not operating from that mode, you look at yourself and say, I can improve. And that's why it's encouraging for yourself to continue through that.
That's right.
So the reward within excellency seems to be self-fulfilling. So it seems like maybe the difference between tiger parenting in this mode and not tiger parenting is tiger parents would ask kids to do something to a certain standard, and if the standard is fulfilled, then they would get some sort of reward, praise, whatever. But reward in excellency is that it's coming from doing it to your excellence. Like, that is the reward, is knowing that you tried your best. There's a feeling of fulfillment from knowing that you gave it your all.
Yes, that's right. And then, whatever that feeling is, that you glorify God. Because God understands your heart. People might see outside of you, but God knows the inside of you. So once you know whatever inside of you is pure, is really want to honor God, and God will honor whatever desire of your heart.
So I think for me, the ways that excellency shaped my life is being able to try new things, which is why I dove into journalism, which I never had done before, and playwriting, all of these, very new things. I wasn't afraid to try it. I think time management was key because I'm not, staying up until like 2 a.m. perfecting every single homework assignment, like many of my friends. So I always went to sleep before 11, 12 at night because I had this mindset. And then I think in terms of areas of my life where I pursue excellence, pickleball for sure, pushing myself to be a better player, challenging myself by going to, semi-formal, informal tournaments, maybe one day a real tournament.
That's right.
So you're setting goals and seeing how far you can take yourself. I think if I operated out of perfectionism in pickleball, I would not make any progress because I would just beat myself up after I make every mistake.
That's right.
Yeah. What is your mentality when you're playing and you make a mistake?
You just shout out the mistake that you make, and then you remind yourself that's the skill you need to improve. Yeah. And how about your business?
My business?
Yeah.
My college coaching business?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember a year ago, right? You make a promise to yourself that you would like to begin college counseling. You came up with the plans, and you came up how to promote your business and how to lay out the courses and all sorts of things. And then we starting from scratch and we do not even familiar with this line. So it's everything start from scratch. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things that I read in a book that I talk about all the time, it's called Mind Shift. It's by Erwin McManus. The tagline is, "It doesn't take a genius to think like one." One of the chapters is titled something like "No One Knows Anything." And it is about exactly this idea that everyone has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And everyone at one point did not have the knowledge that they have today. It's only by putting in the hours that you can really accumulate that knowledge and experience. And so I wanted to be excellent. So that's why I spent a lot of time like trying to learn, trying to figure things out, making mistakes, and then learning from those mistakes to establish the business. It's difficult, but it's very worth it. It's paid off emotionally,
That's right. Yeah. Because right now a lot of high school, not only in helping them in college essay, but also mentoring them in some sort of mental issue, like the pressure that they are facing right now in high school is so
to be perfect.
Yeah, like they aim for perfect, right?
That's right. So, I get students who message me like, "Cassandra, I got 2 B's. Are my dreams of going to college over?" Like those are DMs that I get, and I mean that's a crazy standard of perfectionism that each of these high schoolers are holding themselves to. When you're in high school, you don't have the perspective of like there's more than just grades out there, because being a student at that stage in life is your number one priority. So when you do get a B or a C, it does feel like the end of the world, like my B. I got a B in Spanish for honors in high school, and I think because we had very limited understanding of college and the college application system, really thought it really felt like game over, and it's because we thought that we had to be the perfect student to get into college, but obviously that is not the case. And I think colleges want to see the imperfections, because from the imperfections there is growth. Like I improved, they're like, oh, this person is human, this person makes mistakes.
Instead of like focusing so much on your grade and extracurriculums activities, but the college actually emphasize who are you as a person.
Yes.
So you should demonstrate who are you, through your writing, through the things that you do, to show the college admissions officers who are you, so that they can decide whether they want you as a student in their school.
They're not looking for perfect little robots.
So that's why your college essay business is not only coaching them to write a good essay about themselves, but also while writing the essay and discover what kind of person they are during this journey.
And I encourage them to get vulnerable about their imperfections in their essays.
Yeah.
Because that's what's interesting and emotionally gripping to read in the essays. I mean, I wrote my comm app about my imperfections, right? My struggles with English, and that was a very real thing for me growing up. So if I tried to be like present myself as a perfect person in my common app, there would be no emotional heart of it. And that's also not who I am. Like, I'm not a perfect person. None of us are. But yeah. So I think it's a really valuable value that you put into my head from a young age. Excellence over perfectionism. Yeah. Right. Anything else to
take
add?
pride in your work and constantly seeking to improve. If they are parents with the little kids, you know, so I think what they can do, those parents with the little kids, is to use the words of praise, and then use the words of Bible promises, and pray over your children. Introduce new things to them, because like when you and your brother, when you were young, we try many things. Like, let's say for sport, we try basketball, tennis, ping pong, badminton, and skateboarding, skiing, swimming. Let them work hard towards and see whether they are interested in those kind of sport. If they show interest, then we will encourage and bring more ways to improve their skills in that particular sport. To encourage your children to try everything is to encourage them out of their comfort zone. So if you start from their very young age, and then they will be already get used to this kind of like facing different kind of challenges, trying new things, and then when they grow to high school, they are not afraid to try new things.
So it's a way of living, this idea of living all in, being your excellent self. It's not for the end purpose or the end goal of getting into college, but it's a way to live a very fun, fulfilling, exciting, meaningful life. So in the future episodes, we will dive into more topics like finding your passion and cultivating this love of learning from a really young age, and just explore different parts of our journey together as mother and daughter. All right. So thanks so much for doing this podcast with me.
Thank you.
It was a great first episode. Woo! Yay. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.